I've probably walked Morley Field at least 3,000 to 4,000 times. Thousands of miles of grass has been cut to make sure that we have the most beautiful course here in San Diego. I remember walking up to Snapper, who's the owner of the course, and the first thing that I told him before even asking for a job was, "Hey Snapper, I want to be a professional disc golfer." And he was like, "You got spunk, kid. I like that." And then we kind of just talked for a little bit about disc golf, and next thing you know, he said, "You know what? I can't promise that I'm going to turn you into a professional disc golfer, but I'll do whatever it takes. And you can start by showing up at 5:30 a.m. to cut the grass." And I said, "Deal." And for the next 4.5, 5 years, I showed up every morning at Morley Field. Snapper always says, "We mowed to cut the grass. We'd weed whip for perfection." And so that was the standard I always had since the day I started working at Morley Field.
He's just one of those people who, when he came along, was willing to listen, he was willing to learn, he was willing to go out and do the work, and he has the discipline, and it's all kind of come together. It's hard to not feel respect for this young man once you've met him. It was wonderful to be able to see him recently. The Las Vegas tournament, they actually showed his lead card, so I got to watch the entire thing on Gatekeeper Media. It was beautiful. It really showed what a pro he's become.
And this is Clint Calvin, 1026 rated, I believe. Fantastic player.
I've seen his name pop up a little bit. Really excited to see what he has in store for us.
And look how smooth that shot landed.
Wow.
The third round, I played with Ricky Wysocki, Garrett Gurthie, and James Conrad. If you're unfamiliar with who these people are, Ricky Wysocki is currently the highest rated player in the game. Garrett Gurthie is one of the farthest throwing players in the game. And James Conrad is one of the most technical, best putters in the game. And after round one, I found myself sitting in the top 10, and next thing you know, my phone is blowing up. I'm getting interviewed by the Pro Tour staff, I'm getting interviewed by Johnny Disc Golf, and the heart is pounding.
This is the final round coverage of the 2021 Las Vegas Challenge, presented by Innova Champion Discs.
In the past, I have not exactly played the best on camera, so this to me was a huge redemption opportunity.
All right, hole 7, par 4, 432 feet, playing into a stiff wind, 25 mile per hour plus, left to right.
And so now I'm in this position where I'm not playing great, I'm feeling anxious, and then I just reminded myself of what my friend Connor O'Reilly from Team Latitude had told me previously. He said, whenever I'm upset, man, I just force myself to smile. It always puts me in a better mood, it always changes my perspective, and it always gets me to the next hole. And I think that's really important, is just forgetting everything that's behind you and playing everything one hole at a time with a smile on your face. I got to see Ezra Adderhold and Drew Gibson throw before me into a 15 mile per hour left to right crosswind. Both of them threw high-speed drivers. Ezra went long, and Drew had parked it just perfectly. I walked up to the tee with an overstable enforcer, knowing that this disc was stable enough to combat the headwind, and I kind of just bit right off of Drew Gibson's vapor trails, hit the exact same line, and parked my disc about 4 inches closer and tapped in for the eagle. That was definitely a turning point in my round because I had mentally committed and told myself off the tee, you're gonna eagle this hole and you're gonna start your round moving.
Great from Clint. Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Beautiful late turn, spin control shot. That shape that he just threw shows why he's an elite player.
Yeah, everything about Clint's shot has to be perfect for it to get that close.
I cannot get over how hard that shot is to throw. He's going for it. That's got a good line.
Beautiful. Gonna get a skip off the green.
Oh, yes. Park job for eagle from Clint.
And ended up finishing birdie eagle on a par 3 and a par 4 to push me into the top 10 to earn my USDGC spot. Still to this day, my favorite disc golf memory was the first time I ever traveled outside of California to play disc golf, which was to Michigan for the United States Amateur Disc Golf Championships. I was lucky enough to have my dad on the bag for me all 4 rounds. Through his advice, motivation, and level-headedness, I was able to capture the victory, and it means the world to me to have had him there to experience that with me.
We noticed Clint right around when he won the U.S. Amateur Disc Golf Championships. You're not a slouch if you win that tournament. But I met Clint in person later that year at the U.S. DGC, the professional side of the event. Was completely impressed. Super humble and honestly a grinder. This is a guy that works hard every single day at his craft. And that's what impressed me the most. To be honest, he's one of the guys you need to watch out for at tour events.
Mondays I work on my forehand approaches, Wednesdays I work on my backhand mid-ranges, and Fridays I work on my forehand full power and my backhand full power shots. My real passion right now lies in giving lessons. A lot of this sport is very hard to break down on your own. It's easy to go out to a field and just throw repetition after repetition after repetition and not go anywhere. That was my first 2.5 years of playing disc golf. So now that I'm in a position where I can give people these drills or these goals or these ideas to help them shape their form or their mental game for the positive, it's extremely satisfying and fulfilling. Currently, disc golf is at an all-time high. We are right at the moment where we are going to break through to the public and become a mainstream sport. And I think that there's about to be some huge sponsorships coming into the game. And I really believe that within the next year or 2 years, we're going to see a huge change to our tournament structure, the schedule, our rating system, and even the divisions that are offered in these PDGA events. So my goal this year is to really just learn how to travel on the road and make sure that when I do hit the full tour that I'm completely prepared and mentally ready to be able to play my best disc golf possible.